Ideas for solutions. Okay. Battling.
Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for coming. For those of you that are already walking in, we said we'd be here by 7 p.m. In case you're wondering, this is not wine.
Not in the cup, anyways.
It's actually beet juice. And it's going to be part of our discussion today. But I wanted to upload this to this channel just to kind of welcome those viewers who follow me to watch us on the other channel, which we're actually currently waiting. Hi, Anna Banana. We're actually waiting right now to gain permission so that we can go live on that channel instead of this one. So, hi, Anna. Hi, Mina. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining. So I just wanted to come on here because we said we would be here by 7 p.m. And I just wanted to make sure that, glad to be catching one of your lives as it is live. Thank you. I'm glad you could catch me live too. So what I wanted to address today, and I have my friend Walter here who I will introduce you guys to in just a little bit, but I wanted to address mental illness, anxiety, depression, because on my Instagram, hi Timothy, on my Instagram, I do receive a lot of kind of like topics from moms. Usually it starts off talking about fitness and health and how the loss of their fitness and health has affected their mental stability, their mental health, how they feel about themselves, their emotional health. And I know that there are a lot more people out there going through it than we even know. So I definitely have been wanting to put a video out there to address it and to share my experiences, to share how I deal with it and how I'm able to succeed each time that these types of situations happen to me, because I know that I'm not the only one. And being the fact that I do have that I am an influencer, meaning that there are people who are listening to me on this platform, I think that it's important that we sometimes put away the hair and makeup and bring out more important topics to let people know that, hey, a lot of the times when you see me posting all these great things about my life, that's not the way it is all of the time. I have ups and I have downs. I go through super happy moments and successes, and I also go through sadness and a little bit of depression, some anxiety. And so I definitely wanted to come on here and address it with you guys. If you guys have any thoughts or any questions before we get started, I would love to hear about any suggestions that you guys want us to address. Otherwise, in a few minutes, we're going to be ready, right? We're ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I'm going to flip you guys around in a little bit. Where we're also filming on my old little camera here. I don't even know what the heck to call this thing, but it's like it's just an old camera, guys.
A little camera that could. That's what it is.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start recording with this one.
We should be thankful though, because at least we have that. Right?
Very true. Because we were supposed to have another camera, but it's just not available, so there's nothing we can do about that. Okay, so hopefully I won't drop you guys, but anyway, here's our little setup here. There's Walter.
Do we need to turn it?
You know what? I don't know if it will allow me to. Let me try, but
That's okay.
I think I can squeeze in.
I'll hold it in. How long is this?
Okay, so you guys, once I come over to this side, I won't be able to see. Oh, look, they're saying hi to you. They're saying, hi, Walter.
Hello.
So once I come over here, you guys, I won't be able to see your questions. I'm really sorry, but we do have intentions to create a Q&A segment. So please make sure to write down your questions. We have all of our notes here because we did our research. We're not just coming on here as like a couple of people who just want to tell you that you should be happy all the time, because that's not fair. But we do have some things that we're putting together.
Oops, oh.
Just logged into our live.
I'm learning. I'm learning. So yeah, I'm learning. Oh, okay. So you can see your comments.
Oh, you can
Airplane.
see it from there? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oops. Oh,
yeah.
not if you put it on airplane mode. Oops. Sorry. Please don't text me while we're doing this.
Okay, so this is cool. So yeah, we will actually be
See?
able to see some of your comments. I don't know if it'll slow it down, but
I,
anyway, we're learning.
I got some skills. Not many when it comes to this stuff.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. What are we doing? We are everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm
So
actually
let's just go ahead and get started with. We wrote like this little intro, and we want to cover everything step by step. Walter was super kind enough to put together some stats for us so that
Yes.
we aren't, like I said, I don't want to come to you guys and be like, you should be happy forever and ever, because that's just, like I said, I don't think that's fair for anyone. Everyone goes through ups and downs. But go ahead.
Well, first of all, my name is Walter Coulter. I don't want to say the creator of the elevators.
You are
'cause
the
it wasn't my
creator.
idea.
Okay,
it was
but-
actually, the concept was my idea, but it was actually your friend Ellie that gave us the name.
Yes.
Thank you, Ellie. Wish you were here for like the 20th time.
Yeah.
So, but happiness is, I don't know anyone that's happy all the time.
Right.
People accuse me of being happy all the time, but I have my moments.
Yeah, same here.
I get like depressed, but I just go through it. Like if you get, and we're not doctors, right? We're like life elevators. Don't take this as clinical advice, but I know for me, when I have moments of sadness, and they come, I just like to think about something that fires me up,
Right.
right? Like, for instance, when I do get sad, I'll just stop, right? Because sometimes I just go, ooh, this gets all dark. So I'll like turn off the lights, I'll light a candle, and I'll go, what is it I want to do with my life? What is it I'm like, what is going to stop me from pulling the trigger or hanging myself? And I'm being extreme, but like some people go through these things.
Yeah, and a lot of times you don't realize, but you actually have to go through this process of sadness. And a lot of times, like I was talking to you guys a little while ago with,
Right.
Referencing, if you have kids, you're familiar with the movie Inside Out, where throughout the whole movie, they were suppressing the sadness. And at the end of the movie, the moral of the story was, when you have sadness, it's an indicator that something is wrong. So a lot of times people want to skip that process. They don't want to go through the sadness. They want to skip it and they want to move on to the happiness. So they don't allow themselves to kind of sit through that sadness, to watch it, to allow it to happen.
That's good, Queen
Right.
Mother Iris. Yes. It's like pain is a way of saying, hey, something is wrong. If you have a chest pain or arm pain or whatever it is, it's, hey, you could be having a heart attack. That's actually, I guess, a good thing to have pain.
Right.
Because you know something is wrong. So sadness, I guess, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that if you don't mind.
Of course, no, I don't
Right.
mind. And also, I think in this world, this physical realm that we live in, everything is dual. I don't know if you've realized that. Like even you yourself, you are dual. Like when you're created in the womb, you're literally like coming together,
Oh, yeah, because there's one of you and then there's two of you,
Yeah,
which represents a lot of people's personalities.
right? There's the yin and the yang, there's the male
Right.
and the female.
There's a lot of twos.
There's a lot of twos in this world. And a lot of times we try to get we want to stay only on one side, and that's when you lose your balance. When you try to only stay on the happy side and you're not allowing yourself to kind of flow back and forth through the happy and the sad,
Right.
then you I feel like then you take the happiness for granted. You
Right.
stop being grateful.
Right. And that's a good point. Being grateful just means finding something great about your life. See, when you go through moments of sadness or depression or things that don't go your way, and then when things do go your way, you're more appreciative. Like, I like to travel to different countries, and then, I go there and I see sometimes extreme just poverty and sadness. And then when I come back here, regardless of what I think about this country, I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
we have some cool things here to be grateful for. Or, I criticize myself about my weight, and I'm not heavy, but, you look in the mirror and it's like, that ain't
Yeah,
supposed
you're
to be
your
there.
worst critic.
I am. But I see somebody that's 400 pounds, like I was watching my 600-pound life. And I was doing the jig in my kitchen. I was like, I ain't gonna never be like that. So I started feeling better about myself. Right. Or, you see somebody that, you complain about your hair. You see somebody that's chronically bald. So being grateful gives you, it helps you do better. So back to your point on sadness is I don't know if you need sadness, but it's definitely, it helps you be more grateful. The thing is not to stay in sadness,
Right.
which is what we're going to end with our talk here.
Yeah.
So let's get kind of to the point. We're going to talk, what is mental illness, first of all? Tell me, Iris. I mean, I know you know. I'm like doing the questioning.
Well,
like
you
asking
know,
questions.
I'm not a professional, okay? So I don't even want to claim like I know everything. I only know enough of what I've taken time to research and learn for myself, because growing up, I remember having anxiety, like looking back. I remember as a child having anxiety, but not really understanding what it was, not
Right.
really knowing. You know, I thought there was like something wrong with me, like maybe I was just very shy, or I was maybe very nervous,
Right.
or something like that. I didn't really understand what anxiety was until I became an adult and I
Right.
started battling it, and I didn't know how to handle it. That's when I started to have to do my own research, and I realized, oh, I have anxiety, and that is a form of a mental illness or a mental disease. And when I read that, I thought to myself, I don't feel ill, and I don't feel like it's a disease. I don't know why
Right.
it's labeled that way, but okay. And the more I researched it, the more I realized that it's like, to me, it's almost like an imbalance.
Right.
It's almost like you're in the middle of going through something. So like I mentioned before, going back and forth between, you know, the one side to the other. So it's kind of like when you're in limbo. To me, that's what mental illness is. It's like when you're going through the process.
Right. So very good. And my impression of it, and this actually from what I got on YouTube and studying, is it's a change in mental condition, and and involving something, that a condition that makes you sad, or maybe not want to engage in society, or causes ill feelings, so to speak. So, and I know let me back up. When I was young, I was diagnosed with, and I don't even know if this is a mental condition, but with like ADD. I still have it, and I forever have it, and I embrace it. It's funny, like we all have some sort of mental illness. If
Yeah.
you really think about society,
Yeah,
right?
if you go and you get checked, they're gonna find something.
Right.
Everybody has something. Yeah.
But so mental illness is like a condition of change where like you're feeling sadness, right? And I know it's not easy to get depressed, but if you don't stay true to what you want to get done, which is what we'll talk about, it's easy to get depressed. Like some days I'll just feel like I'm in a funk, and I'm like, this is not going my way. I don't know what to do, right? So some people reach for alcohol. I know because I've done that, right? I don't do drugs, but like I would look for things to kind of get rid of it, right? And then I know from experience, like if I've had moments of sadness, or if I'm out and I have a thought that triggers I don't want to call it depression, but my thoughts of sadness.
Yeah, to
and
take you down that road of depression or sadness.
Right. And then if I'm like, if I'm drinking, or if I drink to deal with it, that tends to make it worse.
Right.
Right. Some of the stupidest conversations I've had with my woman or friends or family is after alcohol, right? So, or drugs or things. So that generally makes it worse. So I think being clear on what it is you want will help you. Like kids don't tend to commit suicide or do things harmful to themselves the night before Christmas when they're expecting a gift. You know what I mean? Like if you're expecting to go to the glad that here UNCR are talking about going to Glen Ivy, you're not going to the spa in the morning and take your life, do you?
Right.
You have something to look forward to.
something to look forward to. Yeah.
Right. So the key is to have something to look forward to, and it doesn't have to be anything grand. Like I know CR was shopping, right? Some women look forward to shopping. I hate shopping.
I love shopping.
Shopping makes me
I
depressed.
love online shopping though. I don't really like to
man.
go in person.
Really?
Yeah.
So find something that you like, and I know you're a mom. We talked about that on the phone earlier. Like, your kid keeps you in the game, or like.
There's always something to do with your kid. It's like if you have a kid that is like a straight A student, and they're really good at their sports, and they're whatever, everything is in line, there's always something else. There's something you're dealing with. Either they're being bullied, or they have emotional outbursts. But whatever it is, you're constantly working on your child with just guiding them and helping them. And I know that I am always setting goals for my son.
Right.
Whether it is a goal for tomorrow morning or a 2-year goal. Like in 2
Right.
years, I want him to stop doing this behavior, or I want him to improve on this behavior.
Right. Now, you're one of the people that really get wrapped up into the kid, or your son in this case, where that keeps you going. But I know a lot of people that have kids and are like,
They're burned out.
this is like part of the problem.
Yeah.
Right? So some people get wrapped up in their kids, and I see a lot of women in their 40s and 50s, and their kids, they call it empty nest. And they go nuts, like literally, or they go crazy because their kids have been their life, and all of a sudden the kids are moved out, or worse, and especially for women, you and one of your kids get into an argument. Or you have, because I have 6 kids, and our disagreements are consistently on the front page, right? And I just thank God for alcohol. Just kidding, but
I mean, it's very stressful because you raise your child.
And this is not alcohol, by the way. We're drinking
this is beet juice.
Beet juice, which is shown to actually help with depression, right? What did you say, betaine, or I said
it has properties that are used in drugs to defeat depression. So you don't have to buy the drug if you don't want to. You can just use beet juice.
Now,
but
Timothy earlier, and I'll come back to what you're saying, said, isn't medicine the only way to cure depression?
That's a really tough one because like I said, we are not doctors, okay? We are not psychologists, psychiatrists, or anything, okay? We are just speaking on our own experience. That's what we're trying to bring here. Now, if you are on medication and you are taking anything because it was prescribed to you, we are not telling you to stop taking it.
Right. That's not what's happening right here, right?
Yeah. What we're trying to share.
Kind of insurance.
Yeah. What we're trying to share is how we have dealt with it through our own experience.
Right.
How we have been able to. So he says, isn't it the only way to help? For us, it was not the only way. For us, we're going to talk about how we were able to help it. But again, if you're taking it, we're not saying to stop it.
Right.
You have to keep taking it.
Because I've taken medicines, not a lot, but I didn't like what it did to me. Right. And I know even some kids, like one of my kids, we gave a drug for his ADHD when he was young, and it just boom, it took him somewhere else. Completely, he was not the same person. And I know for me, again, when I struggle with sadness or depression, or I call it getting lost. Because you get lost sometimes where you lose track of what you're supposed to be doing, and it's easy to fall off. You know, like for instance, if I'm going to Thailand, me and Rissa, camera girl, we're going to Thailand next week, and we're gonna do some filming for the elevators, which is one of your friends was like, what's the channel? It's the Life Elevators. I'm looking forward to that because all my life, not all of it, but a lot of it, I've been wanting to start my own channel movement for mental toughness and travel and the good life.
Right.
And so next week, I'm launching it. And I've been wanting to do this for decades. And it's been eating at me because I'm sort of being a hypocrite because I'm not following my goals and my dreams.
So you set these goals for yourself.
Yes. Years ago.
And now you're following through.
Yes.
And you feel like it's helping.
Oh my
sadness.
God. Because now when I get hit with the sadness, I'm like, oh no, dude, you're going to Thailand. You have this going on. You're supposed to do this. Here's the crazy part. Here's why a lot of us struggle from mental illness, because of the cuckoos around us. And here's what I mean by this. When you have a goal or a dream, that's when the friction comes, and the naysayers and the people that are closest to you will say the meanest stuff to you because they're afraid. And it's sad too because so many of us, and I held my dreams back a long time because I didn't want to worry about what the people around me thought. Because I was already thinking bad about it. Then I got to worry about what they're thinking and then what the people they know are thinking. And I had to fight through that and just say mentally, F them. Not like F them, like, because these are my friends and family, but like, if I don't do this.
Don't consider them.
Yeah.
Just don't consider them for your decision making, is what you're saying.
Right, because they're not going to be there in the middle of the night. If I'm having one of those thoughts where I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to reach in the drawer and like, this is a wrap. They may not be here. Let me put this down. Right? They may not be here when I'm going through that, right? So why should they be there when I'm, you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying because I remember when I first started in my journey with meal prepping. I mean, it's something as simple as that. I like to use fitness and health as an analogy for a lot of stuff.
Right.
But I remember when I started meal prepping and I would eat like 2 or 3 times a day and I had my little containers and everybody at work was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you eating so much? You're going to get fat from eating so much, so many times a day. Isn't that going to make you fat? why are you eating the same thing every day? Don't you get tired of it? Don't you get bored? It's like first they question what you're doing, but you just
Right.
continue to go. You don't consider them for your decision. Next thing you know, they're asking you, like, oh, how did you lose so much weight? You look great. What are
Right.
you doing? So
Right.
it's like you kind of have to keep pushing through to get to your dream without considering all of the naysayers or the negative people. So
You
there's
have to block them out. We don't want to spend too much time on this, but it is a big thing, because if you were not afraid of if you could do something without the fear and worrying about what people thought, what would you try? So many of us, and I think that's a huge part of depression or sadness, because you're not being true to yourself, and you can do it, but you're afraid to pull the trigger. Like Rissa, our camera girl, who's not here tonight, she's dealing with her own stuff, but we all go through that. Hey, Riss. But she is getting her passport. She's getting ready to start filming and following her life goal. She's had flats, this. Her car got towed. It was this. It was some llama. You name it. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
She's been hit with like 10 things in the last 24 hours. And I said to her today, I said, you know what? Because like you only cause friction when you move.
right.
So now you're on the move and you're chasing your dream, and all those negative thoughts that you've been carrying are showing up on the
Manifesting.
They're like, okay, you're not gonna do this because you're supposed to suck.
Yeah.
So now all those that fear is hitting her. But when you chill and you're just doing nothing with your life, ain't no friction. You just deal with sadness. You can't be depressed and sad. Like if you ever get depressed and sad, try and jog or run. Try and run down the street and be sad at the same time.
Yeah. You
You know
feel
what I'm
heavy.
saying?
It's heaviness. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to let it go. So anyways, I don't want to digress too much to that, but because we're going to come back to that. But let's get back to the steps.
Okay.
Shall we, Queen Mother Iris?
Yes, please.
You just need braids, right? And an ISIS uniform. So what is mental illness? We talked about that. Depression is a condition that affects how you feel and causes sadness and loss of interest. Depression stats. This is crazy. 7 million people struggle with general anxiety disorder. 6 million with panic disorder. 15 million, or 7% of the population,
15 million.
struggle with social anxiety. Now, here's the crazy part. The average age of this onset is 7 years old. Now, I went through this life enhancement and life coaching, blah, 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 all these courses. And they said by the time a kid is 5, I'm going to say 75% of his or her mental, the way they are, their self-esteem, all that stuff is already set. So when you're telling your kid no, or that was stupid, don't do that, or all the mean things you say and do to your kids, by the time they're 5, it's locked in. You can, from 0 to 5, you can ruin your kid and spend from 5 to 80 trying to fix them, right? The average age of onset is 7 years old.
Wow.
For all these disorders, it's like bananas. 1 in 5 women struggle with depression. And they struggle with it. I was saying earlier, men, we just like, I don't know, maybe we end it, or I don't know. Maybe we don't carry the responsibilities you do, but women struggle. I mean, I know so many women that struggle with depression.
Right.
It's mind-blowing. And I'm like, like I was telling one of my friends, you have so much to live for. You're attractive, you're on the move, but I don't know what's in her mind.
Right. A lot of times it's not about what a person has or what they don't have. A lot of times it's just, it could be hereditary, it could be hormonal. I mean,
Because women in hormones they never struggle with that, right?
well, I mean, it's true. And there are
Right.
things that cause the depression that you would look at a person and say, but you have everything. How could you possibly be going through depression when your family is healthy, you have a nice home, you have a husband, you have this, you have that? Why are you depressed? And they could still feel it.
They do, and I'm going to say something that I normally am against, but I'm going to put it out there. I hate going to social media and I see women, men do it too, but women more say, I got myself, I don't need a man. Or my man is right here, or whatever, right? And it's like, oh, stop beating this up. But they have a good point. I just wish you women would come about it differently, right? Like I saw this joke, and I'll be quick. She goes, Santa, I want a boyfriend. And he goes, well, what else do you want? She goes, I want a dinosaur. And then she comes back and says, oh, so the man, like, tell me about him. He goes, well, what color dinosaur do you want? And I'm just like, dang. Like, it's not that hard finding a man, but like I was thinking about the reason I brought that up. I was thinking about Kate Spade, Andrew. What's his name? Not Andrew. My man in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Anthony Bourdain. I mean, we're cooking right. We got lobster. We got the Walter Lee salad with the Italian lemon juice and the black truffle salt. When you guys leave, it's going down in here, right? But my man Anthony, I used to love. That was my man. He inspired me to do the cooking show and all that stuff. He hung himself. Like, what do you have to go through to hang yourself?
Right.
I don't like holding my breath, but to hang yourself, or Kate Spade, I don't know how she killed herself, or
Yeah, sometimes you don't know what people are going through, and from the outside, it can seem like everything is 100% okay, and you almost even want to wish that you had their life.
right. And some of the happiest people, from what I'm told, are some of the most people that have the most risk of some of these problems.
Right.
So, like, I have a dark side, and people have trouble believing that. Trust me, I do. It's not like.
I think we all
it's-
do, though. I
right?
think we all do, and that's why we're here to talk about what are some ways that we handle it or manage it or work with it, you know. So
Right. So it's good to, first of all, know where you stand. Like, if you struggle with depression, struggle with it. But the thing to do is tell people that tell them what you're dealing with. Transparency is huge.
Right.
I have this thing, and I heard when I was in this financial company, I heard this guy, his name is Paul Hart, say, "You can't fall off the floor."
Right.
So, and I was busting up laughing. And so what I did, and when I started telling people, it's like, you know what? I'm starting from the bottom. Like, how's it going? You wouldn't even believe the crap I'm going through.
Right.
I'm like, it's, when I lost it all, my money and all, everything, I'm like, I'm starting over. When you
Right.
just tell people I'm going through it, they'll back up. Sometimes people like to see you struggle because it makes them feel better, but it also buys you time. Like, someone says, "Oh, hey, can I borrow $1,000?" I'm like, I was getting ready to call you and ask you for the same thing. I'm just be transparent if you're going
Right.
through it, and people will help you.
Yeah, there's a lot of times that I have called a family member and they're like, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." "No, you're not. What's going on?"
Yeah.
And finally, I'll open up and I'll say, "I just don't like to call you. You feel like every time I call you, it's bad news." And the person on the other line is usually like, "That's fine. I don't care if you call me for bad news. I just want to hear from you, make sure you're okay, let you vent." However, there are some people out there who don't have someone to call. That's why there are hotlines out there for people. But here's the thing that I do, and I mentioned this in my last video. If you watched my last live video, I mentioned this. There are times when I do reach out to friends, family, whatever, because I feel like crying, I feel like venting, I'm sad, I'm stressed, and no one's answering.
You can call me. I'm up all the time.
Well, I'm not talking about like people who don't want to hear from me. I'm talking about people who just don't happen to answer at the time that I'm needing them. That's what I mean.
Oh, I see what you're
And
saying.
so what I have learned to really strengthen about myself, which I'm kind of trying to work with recommending this to all of you, is to really spend some time alone. At least just look at the clock and consider 5 minutes where you can just talk to yourself. And believe it or not, doing this has actually started off making me really sad and feel bad for myself because I don't have anyone to talk to. And I'm like, why am I just sitting here talking to myself like a crazy person? But eventually, when I get over that sadness and I just continue to just kind of talk to myself and walk myself through the feelings, I'm able to come up with some pretty good answers for myself.
Right. My boy Tommy says that exercise is good. Like, it's hard to be lifting weights and running down the street or running in the gym and be depressed. And I know Iris here is a personal trainer. It just makes me sick. Man, it makes me sick. Anyways, I'm being jealous. I'm hating shade. No. So, and I want to bring this, actually, you brought up a good point, is reaching out to someone. Remember neighbors? Like,
right?
How about your neighbor? Like,
yeah, just call your neighbor and just say,
Or
"Hey,
like-
come over. I'm gonna make us some coffee. Let's talk."
remember those days? Like, I know all my neighbors. I have a big mouth. Say what it is. First of all, I want to know who lives next to me. But like, you can talk to your neighbor. Like, you'd be surprised what you could find, the connections you could have.
Right.
Or like, sometimes you might just be there when they need it. I have something that happened to me that was really tragic. It was a client of mine when I was a financial planner for American Express, and she was struggling with depression. I didn't know it. But when I would come over, have moments of sadness, and when we would work on her goals and her finance and talk about her travel, she would cheer up. And so one night I got a phone call, a missed call from her, like 11:30, and I was just like, it was one of those moments. I was like, well, first of all, I was married, so and then I have a female client calling me at 11:30, and I was like, okay, I don't want to get busted here or get in trouble, whatever. And so I didn't take the call, and then the next morning I called, and her sister answered the phone and said she took her life last night. And I go, well, that's weird because she called me, and I've carried that for a long time. Like if I would have answered the phone, but then I had to let go because I was like, because every time she called, I wasn't gonna be there, and I'm not a therapist, I'm a financial planner, right? So, but it's good to have someone to call, and maybe how about reaching out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while?
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to just call people, and just say, I don't really have a reason to call you. You popped into my head and I just wanted to say hi. And a lot of times people will say, oh, well, I'm in the middle of something or I can't talk. And you can just say, okay, that's it. Well, I just wanted to let you know that I think of you sometimes. And
that's actually a good point. Two things. One, people are too busy to talk to each other. Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, remember that? But like if you got a call that says that, hey, Walter took his life, his funeral is tomorrow, you would take time off and go. Some of you, the hell with the rest of you. Why not take time off now and deal with people while they're alive? Right? You ever see the movie? One thing that gets me emotional in movies is, and I love movies, is at the end, like with the strange father and son, like there was a part like Rocky was in that, and Jack Nicholson. There's a bunch of people, right? These movies that you watch where they haven't talked throughout the whole movie, and at the end of the movie they show up on the doorstep like, hey, I'm your grandfather.
right.
Like those moments they bring out your emotions because they're true stories. What if you could just reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a while, right? Like what about, or do something that's gonna like you're gonna have to build up to, like to call somebody you haven't spoke to in 30 years over some stupid stuff. You're like fighting over a man because your sister slept with your husband. Okay, that's aggressive. But after a while you have to let it go. Because you still go to your sister's funeral, right? So sometimes it's just good to be transparent and say, I need you.
Right.
I need someone to talk to. Do you mind?
Yeah, just listening, holding space.
Right.
So what are some more ideas that we have for battling, solutions, goals?
Beet juice. You can beat depression, right?
Yep.
Cheers, my glass is empty. I have a headache. I've drunk so much of this so fast. Jeez, I have like the raging headache right now. Don't drink too, and I have ginger in it too, so that's probably, my head is like doing the jig. But some of the things you could do that I think we could talk about, right? Because I don't understand medicine, and I know people give you medicines because they got to get paid and all that stuff.
Right.
But like, find 1 or 2, 3 things that okay, that's 4, right? You should have just beet juice. No. Get clear on 1 or 2, 3 things that you want to do. Maybe you want to travel. So and set a goal, and a real goal. Not the, I want to travel. That's not a goal. That's a wish. A goal is like, I'm going to Mexico, I'm going to, let's say, Ensenada to go wine tasting December 14th. And I'm going to buy these wines, and I'm going to stay in this hotel. Or I'm going to, like, Ensenada does a paella festival every year. It is millions of people in paella. Anyways, see how excited I just got?
So you're talking about, like, being specific about your...
Clear.
Yeah.
Clear. So many of us have goals and dreams, and we're not clear.
Right.
Like, I want to send my kids to college. You're a liar. No, you don't. I would send my kids to, like, Morgan and Evan, my 2 babies. Don't, like, they want to take a year off college. But I've been telling them since they were babies, you're going to UCLA. When they were little, I was like Jedi mind tricks, you're going to UCLA, especially for my daughter, because I want her to be close so I can check on her. And so we were talking the other day, and I was like, what school are you going to? And they were like, I guess UCLA. No, not you guess. I've been planting those seeds for years. But the point I'm making is be clear. I want them to go to USC. I want them to study personal development, finance, nutrition. I want them to learn how to deal with goals and go after
What about
life.
smaller goals, though? Because sometimes when you're dealing with depression and anxiety, when what you're talking about right now can make you like want to turn everything off and just forget it.
Right.
What about
Well,
like something smaller?
Like, okay, like maybe I want to send my kids to UCLA, but maybe I'll start saving $1 a day. Or maybe I want to stop drinking. So instead of drinking like 6 beers a day, maybe I'll drink 5. It's the slight edge approach that we talk about.
Right.
But so it could be a small goal. Like for me, when I wanted to lose, I was almost 200 pounds. I'm 5'9". And so I was like, woo, I need to get down to 170. And I went to the gym and I was like, hell no, I'm never getting to 170. It's too big. So I said, I'm going to get to 198. And then I got to 198. And then and I just did a pound at a time. And before you know it, I was 175 pounds.
Right.
And I was like, whoa. But if I'd have took all that on at once, it wouldn't have happened. But so you can set little goals, or maybe you don't go to France. Maybe drive to Rancho Cucamonga from Ontario, or go to Montclair. There's a Lazy Dog there's branding, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but whatever it is, be clear on it. Because the
Yeah.
reason people struggle, they're not clear.
Right.
Don't give me this, I want to retire. No, damn it. When you wake up the day you retire, what are you doing that day?
Right.
Are you at the beach, or are you just sitting on the couch like, I'm going to call in sick. Oops, no, I retired already. What are you doing the first day?
Yeah.
Are you calling all your friends? Like me, I want to just buzz all my friends at work and pull up in the parking lot, my Ferrari, and spin the tires, right? Set up a nice picnic with wine outside their office. Just whatever it is. Just be clear on what you want to get done. I think that really helps a lot.
Okay.
And then diet. Like, your diet is beating you. Like, we talk about diabetes, which we'll talk about in the future, but like, a lot of times it's diet. When I eat a heavy meal, the next day I feel like crap.
Right.
And mentally, I feel horrible because I know that I ate a full Brontosaurus steak and French fries and dairy and crap I'm not supposed to be
Are we really
eating.
bringing this up like right before Thanksgiving?
I know.
Are we really doing this?
They have
Come
substitute sour creams and all that stuff, and you could eat fish. I don't know. I'm just making the point. I feel horrible mentally. So you should get to some of your people too, right?
Hi. Okay, Timothy's asking a couple of things.
Everyone's like, "Oh, she's so beautiful." What about me? I'm over here just like, oh, he's second rate. She's the lobster. I'm just the salad.
My
You know what I'm saying?
channel.
That's okay. I'll be salad. That's okay.
I know we were trying to upload this to the elevators, but we have to wait. We have to wait 24 hours before we can upload there. So I said, I'll just put it on my
No,
channel.
I
for
like
now.
your channel better. You got 100,000 followers.
Almost.
Okay.
Almost.
Do you have 60,000 followers?
No, I have more than that.
You have more than 70?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have more than 80?
Yes.
Do you have more than 90?
Yes.
See what I'm talking about? She has because next is 100.
But those.
Oh, we looking at the wrong
but that
camera.
number doesn't matter. Oh, look, he says congratulations, or Gorilla Biscuit says congratulations on your weight loss.
Him, yes.
To you.
I appreciate it. I need recognition. That's another thing. Thanks for almost your friend's name.
Gorilla Biscuit.
Miss Biscuit. Recognition is huge.
Yes.
How do we overlook that? Like, recognition, like, you know what I like to do to guys and girls, but especially women. I'll say, girl, your shoes are rocking. Just a girl walking by random that I'm not trying to hit on or sleep with, but like, damn, your hair is nice. Like, I told the girl, we were in Nordstrom Rack, which I hate shopping in the weekends. And I told this girl, I said, your hair is lighting up the whole store. Everybody is checking out your hair. I skipped her to come talk to you so I could see your hair up close. And she just lit up.
Yeah.
And the other girl's like, oh, that's nice, and da-da-da-da-da.
It's nice to do that to people. It's nice to do that to, I like doing that too. And I like doing it. I like complimenting women because I know a lot of us women, we struggle with like the most minor things. Like what were Rissa and I talking about the other day?
Oh my
How
God.
our ribs are too close to our waist.
God, my ribs are too big.
We were saying our ribs were too close to our waist, which makes our waist look like more block, like, you know, like a block.
Oh my God, I was sitting here going nuts. Like, you don't want to see my waist. I'm gonna end this podcast or whatever so I can let my stomach out.
Yeah, because
You know?
we were just like, oh, we're so blocky right here in our waistline. Like if only,
No.
like if we,
It's
you know, there's
just-
girls that have like
it
those.
makes me
Anyway,
sick.
we
Like,
went off
but
on that. So.
yeah,
That I like to go up to women and tell them like, you have the best skin, or I love your body, it's beautiful. And 10 out of 10 times they'll say, my body, like there's like 10 things wrong with it. And I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, and we, men and women or whoever, because I know it's opened up. First of all,
Uh-oh.
people like, I know, right? When I start with that, that
First
means
of
I'm
all,
about
like-
to come with it. Sometimes your
Okay.
man will say, "You look great tonight." Like me, I like my woman to wake up without makeup on. I like that. And I'm like, because you don't have to wear all the makeup because you ain't gonna wake up like that.
Yeah, but some women like to wear makeup.
I do. You should
And we
wear
don't-
it, but
we don't do it for the guys. We
But
do it 'cause we
sometimes,
like
and that's the
color.
problem, because you don't do it for your man or for your woman or whatever you with. You do it for other people.
No, you do it for yourself.
You should do it for yourself too. That's okay, but you know what I'm saying.
Like this
So
color.
it is a good color on you, right? Speaking of like makeup, so recognition is huge, even
Right.
if it's a small compliment. Like I noticed you did your hair today.
Right.
That thank you for doing that. We appreciate because or whatever it is, or like thanks for cooking, or thanks for like borrowed your pen, like thanks for letting me use your pen. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for trying the beet juice. Whatever. Recognition is huge, and it
Okay.
will save a life.
So we were talking about nutrition. Here are some foods that I know are you shouldn't be consuming if you are depressed.
What's that?
Sugar.
Ooh. Okay. No sugar's in everything, though.
Yeah, I mean, processed sugar.
Okay, processed sugar. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a killer. That just goes right to the mid. See?
It's not even about the body. It's about how it chemically affects your mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it actually is
I didn't realize
no
that.
good for depression.
Oh, wow.
I know that drinking water is good for your health. Everybody knows that, but it also helps improve the way that your outlook in life.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty. What else? What other things make us feel better?
Any food that, in
Oops.
general, I can't go over each and every one.
Don't
but
go over all of them. I'll be
But
right
in
back.
general, any food that comes from the earth. Here's a good example. These kinds
Beets.
of foods, right here.
Like you just made me think. We need to drink more water. Let's turn them around. They're not paying us yet, right? You can probably guess who that is. But no, when I do drink water, I feel better. And what about
Well,
eating?
this is sparkling water.
Oh yeah, so I didn't shake it up, so you're good, right? So and water is free, not this. Most
Yeah.
water is free, right? You can just drink it out the tap. Maybe that's not good for you. Anyway, so there are a lot of foods, and again, be nicer to yourself because you only get one body that we're aware of. So eat decent foods. Like me, I cut dairy out. Oh my God, my life has improved health-wise. I love steaks, lamb chops. When I don't eat meat the night before, I wake up and I feel so much better. And I'm not going to turn this into the vegan show because I have meat in there. Don't get it
Right.
twisted. I have lamb chops, and you can attest to that. But I do it on special occasions.
Yeah, I was just talking about this the other day in another video. I actually do I'll do maybe once a week or twice a week, I'll do a vegan day.
Right.
I don't consume anything that is animal product.
So you're the other way. Okay, cool.
And then once in a while, I'll do like vegetarian days where I'll have just like egg whites, for example.
Right.
And I don't do it and then go out and brag about it. I just kind of like do it because it makes me feel good. So I'm not like in people's faces and I'm not like, I'm vegan, I'm
Yeah,
just,
because there's some cuckoos. Because
I don't like doing that to people.
right. So and you can make adjustments like moderation. Like I used to love eggs and bacon, but you can do egg whites. Egg whites, 75% of the cholesterol and everything is in the yellow.
Right.
So toss the yellow.
Yep.
Right. So we're not saying don't do eggs, but maybe do them better. Right. You name it. Like if you're gonna eat heavy stuff, maybe do it in moderation. Because I think like I had ice cream last night, and I don't like to eat ice cream because it's not good for my health, but I love the way it tastes. So I had a little bit.
Yep.
I felt guilty when I woke up. My tennis shoes were like ready to go hit the gym, but whatever. It was in moderation though, right?
Let's end the video.
Yeah, I'm done. I have nothing else to say.
I think we talked enough.
We did. We talked too
'Cause
much.
even
Some
I'm
of them
getting-
are probably.
I'm
Some of them.
starting like,
You're looking at your watch and you're filming this. Like, who the hell are you?
Sorry.
Man, like she's like boring.
Oh shoot, I got messages.
What movie was that, right?
Sorry.
I know I gotta do my taxes and my hair. Anyways, now we're done. But we'll do more of these, and our elevator channel will.
It'll be in
up.
the other channel.
Yeah, we can create a link and
Yes.
somehow, some way
It's
we
just
can do
this
all that.
time because of what happened. We tried to upload on the elevators and it said
Right.
we had to wait 24 hours. So for those of you who are, watching and you guys are already following this channel, this isn't something that we're going to do all the time on this channel unless
Right.
unless you guys think it's a good idea. Then
Yeah, I
you can
like
come in
being
here
on
once-
Iris on YouTube. This is a cool channel. I like your people. They're nice.
They're really nice.
People love you.
Yeah, look, Lauren Gray says she really enjoyed this. So if you guys,
Hey, Lauren. Oh, she's over there.
yeah, if you guys
We have
really
like 4
enjoy
things
this,
going on at once. Facebook Live.
yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
I think next time we'll, if we come back on here, or if you guys want to continue to watch videos like this, go to the elevators. I'll link it in the description so you guys
Yeah.
can see it. But it's called the.
It's the elevators, but there's so many elevators out there. So on Instagram, we're the elevators official.
The Elevators Official on Instagram.
But if you
But
type
for
in
YouTube is.
if you type in elevators and like Walter Coulter, WALTER, or type in your name, Iris, then it will pop up.
Okay, and I'll also
Right.
link it in the description after we upload this video
Yeah.
so that you guys can have access to that. And then
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys
excited
can, 'cause
about
that's,
the elevators.
That's really where we're going to be uploading the videos. It's
Yeah.
just, this is a one-time thing because of what happened with the.
Again, I love being on your channel, and the elevators is just to elevate your life. Be it if you want to travel or be nice, you want to make dinners, if you want to, whatever it is, just elevate your life, and you can elevate from wherever you are. You don't have to be certain size or have certain money.
Yeah.
You can, like, whatever. You can elevate from wherever you are. So, you guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me ramble on your channel, Queen Mother Iris.
Thank you, you guys.
Right, we're gonna
Thank
get you some braids and like a unk and like Egyptian goddess. We're gonna have like
I'll come on with like, oh my gosh.
4 men, big buff men in muscle shirts, like carrying you like.
I don't know if people will subscribe to that.
I think they would. If we had 4 big buff dudes on, I think some of your subscribers would like that.
Maybe. I don't know. Leave me a comment if you want me to do that in the next video.
Right.
We'll figure out a way to make it happen. I'm sure that we can find some people to make it happen.
Right. I know 4 buff dudes. Anyways, you guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm going to turn this off.
Yes, we'll turn this off. I'm gonna turn this one off too.
Oh, did we want to do a Q&A? Is anybody out there?
Questions. Okay, I can take some questions.
I mean, if there's anyone out there who wants to ask some questions.
Oh, she retracted her message. I wanted to read that. So we did the question, should you only have positive people in your life? That would probably mean you had a few people in your life. So
yeah,
you don't
there's
want
no
to
such thing as having positive people in your life because no one is really going to cooperate with you 100%. Even people that you love,
Oh my
people
God.
that you live with, people
Yes.
that you want to marry, your mother, your father, your kids, they're never going to cooperate with you 100%. As well as, on the flip side, you're not going to cooperate with them 100%. However, I don't believe that avoidance is the best way to deal with every issue. I do believe that you do need to address, like you need to come to the source,
Right.
and ask questions before you assume. And then once you
we could do a
know,
whole video on
Yes.
assumptions.
I think once you know, then it's okay to decide like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this situation. I want to step away from it. So.
And what I've been doing to some of the people in my life that tend to be a little more negative is I say, like, listen to or read the 4 agreements. Like, don't make
That's a good
assumptions.
one, yeah.
Don't, because sometimes people, they don't understand, they don't understand your point of view. You don't understand theirs. So,
Okay, so someone wants to know, Gorilla Biscuit wants to know, do either of you fast? And if so, does it affect your mood? Do you fast?
I do. So I do an intermittent fast in the morning.
do I. Mm-hmm.
So I'll go and I won't eat until like midnight. I mean, not midnight, till 12 noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. But it took me some time to get there. But yeah.
Does it affect your mood?
After a while, I start getting like not groggy, but tired, or like I don't get hangry. Some people just don't eat or miss a meal and turn into the Hulk. But yeah, it doesn't affect my mood. But if I go too long,
Okay,
I'll
I'm
drag
gonna
out.
make a note to also leave a link in the description. I think I'm remembering something like David Sinclair recently did a video where he has a study about how fasting keeps you young, which is
Really?
very interesting. Yeah.
put this food away. Back away.
So it
No,
was
just kidding.
in the video. It was talking about all these different ways to stay young, but it was he was going into a lot of detail, and I'll link that video. But he was going into a lot of detail about, and he was addressing duality again. You know how in the beginning of the video I talked about in the physical realm,
Right.
You have we're a dual realm. So you have the dark and the light, the positive, the negative.
Come into the
yin and yang.
light. Is that kind of duality or no? That's another subject.
And so he was talking about how youth is attributed to feeling once in a while a little bit of hunger. You're not supposed to be constantly satiated. You're supposed to have moments of hunger. And that back and forth chemical reaction in your body sends signals to your DNA lifespan, because there is
Really?
actually a lifespan, and it tells you like, okay, this person is at this level, so they don't need to live as long, or this person is at this. I mean, the way he articulates it is,
Oh, yes, Queen Mother Iris. That is such
it's
a good
pretty
stuff.
amazing. So I want to really make sure, I can't even look on my phone right now because you guys are watching me through
Yeah,
my
we got
phone.
you on that. We want to talk about that. That is maybe that's why I look so young. People always say, "Oh, you look young," because I
Yeah.
don't eat. But you would know that by looking at my midsection. Let's end this question with this: the bald eagle lives so long. The normal bald eagle, but the one that goes through hunger, rips his talons and beaks and all that stuff off,
Right.
lives twice as long.
Yes. And that is a
Craziness.
fact. That is a fact. And the reason is because your body fights a little bit more to get you to continue to survive. So you're constantly living on survival. So it's like, it's just, but you can't take it too far. Just like with this dual world. If you do too much of one side, it's an imbalance.
So you need
if
a
you come
balance.
more to this side, it's an imbalance. You have to be back and forth. That's why.
We have so many things. This is why you want to watch The Elevators, our channel, because we can talk about so many things like balance.
Okay, so that was the end of that. Let's go to the next one.
Yes.
The next one says, this is from, okay, CM says that fasting is difficult. Yes, it is. But don't do it in long spurts. Do short
Right.
spurts if you want to do it. So let's say, for example, if you're hungry every hour, you know, in the next hour, skip 15 minutes. You
Wow.
don't have to skip the whole hour. You can say, well, I'm going to skip 15 minutes. I'm going to distract myself. I'm going to do something else. Go for
Right.
a walk.
Right. What I did today is but it's funny. The crazy part is I have not eaten today. Right now it is 8 o'clock. I have not eaten today. What I did though is I stole it from my son Miles. He had this bag of like M&Ms and peanuts, you know, the trail mix, and I grabbed this bag and I ate that for like hours just snacking on it, and that's all I've eaten today, which is crazy, right? You could do that.
Yeah, I mean that's one way. I don't recommend that way though, because
Maybe
I
not
think,
the M&Ms.
yeah,
but
you got to eat something healthy to refeed. So when you refeed, it has to be with something nutritious. That's how it works. Okay, so Lauren Gray Baby says, I've had a hard time lately with the seasonal change. I was on the right track, but the main thing is I stopped drinking enough water. Encouraged to get back on track tomorrow. Yes. Start
you can
off
drink water
with,
right now, girl.
yeah, just start off with one bottle if you can, and move your way up to half a gallon and maybe even up to a gallon. A lot of people don't want to drink water because they're driving a lot, or they're in situations like they're a teacher, they can't be getting up and going to the restroom a lot. So what I recommend is that you know, it's ideal if you could drink water all day throughout the day.
The heck with those kids.
No,
Drinking water, man. Tell those kids, you know what?
no.
Have a
Don't
moment
do
of
that.
silence.
Don't do what he said.
Man, you're like, man, those kids, they probably, anyways, you know, I don't like to drink water.
Don't listen to him.
Is I put stuff in my water, like a dab of lemon juice, or if I'm at home, I put a dab of cognac, or like, you know, like.
So what I was gonna say is what you
beet
do
juice.
is you drink your water when you find yourself sitting somewhere scrolling on your phone or watching TV, because that means that you're in a comfortable position where you can have access to a restroom. So if you're at home and you're watching TV, or you're just on your phone looking at whatever, Instagram or whatever,
Right.
that should be an indicator that you have time to drink water and you have time to be going to the bathroom back and forth. So that's my best advice for water.
I never thought about that, but
And
I just.
then that's the French way to eat, but
People worry about that,
not
really?
snacking between. Interesting. Okay.
There's a reminder app, and every hour, however you want to do it, goes.
And then CM says, I heard fasting lets your DNA repair. Yeah, I think that's part of what that video was talking about. And then Lauren Gray Baby says, I was doing a gallon a day in the summer, and now I'm at 1 liter a day, which is heartbreaking. That's still good though. At least you're doing something.
Better than nothing.
Timothy says, some people turn to plastic surgery to stay young. That's okay too. I don't have anything negative to say about plastic surgery. If that's your thing.
If that makes you feel good,
Yeah.
but just don't take it to the cat level. But like, man, I saw this girl in the elevator, and you knew she was beautiful before. Only thing she was missing was a collar.
Yeah.
I was like, anyways.
Well, you know, just don't overdo it.
Yeah, because then you like, it's crazy, but yeah.
Gorilla Biscuit says, there is a water reminder app. Yeah, so some of you guys can do that. If you have an Android, you can go to the Play Store. It's free. And then Timothy, oh, Lauren Grace says you're a clown and she loves your personality.
I tell people I struggle mentally. I'm being wide open. Like, so if you come here for like mental advice, I'm like, actually, you know what it is I used to be trying to be more just contained. I just ripped the filter off. I'm tired of being somebody else. I'm maybe clinically nuts, but I feel like the Joker.
Vegan says, yeah, cognac in your water. Heck yes.
I know. I'm sorry for that, you guys.
Don't listen.
I'm just saying. Hey, water is water, right?
Yeah.
Not tonic water, but I don't know. It works for me.
Okay, guys. So yeah.
Right.
So if anyone has any more questions, let us know now so that we can answer anything related to, or if you want to share your story or even your advice, because we don't know everything. So if you have anything to say in the comments area, even after we upload this video and leave it on, and you think of something that you want to share with someone, please post it. Anything that we said that was incorrect, correct us. I will not delete your comment. I think it's really important that people are in constant communication to let each other know.
Oh yeah, no, and we need
it's normal.
We need shade. We need criticism. I mean, don't get hung up on it. I don't need that much of it, but it's feedback is good. This is I'm glad that we could help. I hope this has been fun. If there's no more questions, I think she says I'm good. I like cards.
Yeah.
So I'm one of your subscribers, Small World. All right.
Oh no! Oh, she subscribed to Vegan. Oh, okay. So Vegan Deterioration. Lauren Gray Baby is subscribed to you. Maybe we should subscribe to Vegan Deterioration.
Yes, consider it done.
Sorry, it's just I can. Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Vegan says, oh hey.
Subscribe, B. No, how the song goes, smile. Anyways, we haven't eaten. I do need to eat.
Yeah, we're gonna eat right
now. So we're gonna let you guys go. I like this channel. It feels very comfortable.
Yeah, everybody here is always really nice.
It's like taking a warm bath with candles and water with a splash of cognac in it.
Did you really, or is that beet
juice?
juice?
It's beet juice. I've been watering it down. No.
You guys, okay.
All right, you guys, we gotta go. Thanks.
Bye.
Subscribe, like, hit the bell, the red bell, all that stuff. All right. Bye, you guys. See you later. Wow, 51 minutes. This is supposed to be like 30 minutes.